variables, three variables, two equation, two inequations, just so that I can derive nicely. Okay, this. So this type of problem, which method you can apply? Tell me. Which method you will apply? You have solved several problems.
So
Okay.
primal simplex also
Yes.
works in this.
So primal simplex method. That simplex is nothing but the primal, because we are saying no. So when there is only one child is there in my house. Okay. So for my child. Okay. So two first child and second child you are saying, or son, daughter, like that. Okay. So here the first one is, so this is a problem, LP problem. So it is simplex method. Simplex. That simplex, when you know various types of problems are there. So we now apply various methods to various type of problem. Okay. So this is actually primal simplex or simplex. Why is primal? Because it looks like a primal linear programming problem. This looks like a primal linear programming problem. If I will say this LPP1 is minimization type of objective function, constants are greater than or equal to type. So here primal simplex is not applicable, then dual simplex. Okay. So maximization type, but see, always generally we solve maximization type problem. Okay. Via, as you know, maybe you are using simplex method, dual simplex method. So always we are considering maximization type problem. Okay. And what assumption here? The right hand side parameters B1, B2. Generally, in a linear programming problem, these are the managerial decision making problem. This B1, B2 are the resources level. So resources level either 0 or some positive. It cannot be negative. Negative resource means, okay. So there is some cases possibility. No, you know your requirement is more, but you are getting less. So, but here what we want to do with the limited resources, limited time, limited money, limited manpower, we like to maximize. Limited. So negative, it has no sense. No, negative has no sense here. So that is, you know, less than equal to. So at best this much amount is available. Okay, right? So when you plan, you know, you are going to purchase a iPhone or some other. So you see how much money is there and what you are going to, whether it is iPhone 12 or 13 or 10 or whatever, based on your money, the resource, because your target is to purchase iPhone. Okay, in this month. Okay, so whatever the resources you have saved, so you want to purchase. So if it is negative resources, then where is the question of purchasing? So see, we are not thinking of that. Okay, with the limited resources, we like to achieve more. Okay, minimum effort, maximum result. Okay, but here limited resources. So this is the problem. How to solve? We use simplex method, that is called primal simplex method. So here all the problem except the revised simplex method, everywhere we are using condensed simplex table. Condensed means making it is brief. Okay, condensed means only you will find columns, all the columns related to non-basic variables. If all the columns are there, basic, non-basic variable, that is a extended table. Okay, we only use the condensed simplex method because, you know, more likely, so we are solving some problem, you know, manually. Okay, so this is the problem. So now we have to simplify. How we will simplify? Maximization type. So what I have done? Slack variables S1, S2. Generally slack variables is slack. Yes. Okay. So here the slack variables I am just naming as X4 and X5. Okay. The three variables originally X1, X2, X3. Slack variables X4 and X5. Generally the slack variables are basic variables. Artificial variables are also basic variable. Surplus variable cannot be basic variable. You know it? The reason? Okay. So these are the slack variables. So what do you do? Now, assuming B1, B2 are non-negative, what do you do? So we have added slack variable X4 and X5. It was in equation. After adding something, so it is becoming equation. Okay. So how many equation, how many variables are there? If you are talking about the basic solution, basic feasible solution, how many equations, how many variables are there? Yes, there are 3 plus 2, 5 variables. So how many equations? Hello. How many students? I
equations,
am not
sir.
counting. How many are attending my class? You are not. Are you able to listen, or there is a problem?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can listen to you.
But why are when I'm asking? Why I'm asking? See, if I look at you, know, it's certainly because they're just asking you respond yes, no, something like that. Okay, right? So you are listening. So there are 5 variables, 2 equations, and we are looking for basic solution, basic feasible solution, etc. Because so the basic feasible solution I have told earlier, basic feasible solution represents the extreme points. Solution occurs at the extreme point only. Okay. Sometimes, you know, so we are moving from one extreme point to an extreme point by means of the simplex method. And sometimes, you know, suppose say 0.1, then 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, there. And sometimes after reaching 0.4, again is coming back to 0.3, again going to, so there are some problems. So the degeneracy, recycling. Okay. So how to tackle such problem, I have not discussed. So maybe I will just give a write up. Okay. Sometimes it may happen. So because they are the man-made, not the nature-made. So there may be some problem where you have recycling because it will not converge. It will not converge. So this method says that it will not converge. So you going say 0.1 to 0.2, again coming back result. So you can open a book, you can see the problem of degeneracy. Okay, degeneracy where? So generally basic feasible solution, you know, that contains basic variable, non-basic variables. Okay, so here in these 5 and variable 2 equations, how many basic variables? How many non-basic variables?
3 basic.
3 what? 3.
Oh, sorry, 2 basic when we're finding basic feasible.
2 basic variables and 3 non-basic variables. Okay, 2 basic, 3 non-basic. Okay, so these 2 basic variables, if it happen to be non-zero, negative to not allowed. If it is non-zero, then the solution is non-degenerate. If one of the basic variable, at least one of the basic variable is becoming further 0, then it is a degenerate solution. For the degenerate solution, so there may be the case of recycling. I am repeating again here. So there are 5 variables, 2 equations. Here x4 and x5 are the what? So they are this, you know, dependent, independent. I can say x4 can be expressed in terms of x1, x2, x3. x5 can be expressed in terms of x1, x2, x3. Okay. So see, we have assumed b1, b2 are greater than or equal to 0. If you set the non-basic variable x1, x2, x3 equal to 0, these are the non-basic variable. One case, what will happen to x4, b1, and what will happen to x5, b2? This b1, b2 are non-negative, non-negative. So let us say b1 equal to 10, b2 equal to 20. So that solution is non-degenerate. But if x4 equal to 10 and x5 equal to 0, or another way, if one of the basic variable becoming further 0, then that solution is called a degenerate solution. So sometimes with related to the degenerate solution, we may have recycling, degeneracy. Okay, this. So now if it is the problem, we are going to write the condensed simplex table. Okay, how do? In this manner. So we have, say, you know, there are 2 rows for the 2 constants b1, b2. One heading is there x1, x2, x3, and xp. So this, you know, I have written here the row wise non-basic variable n, b, v non-basic variable x1, x2, x3. The column wise basic variable x4, x5. Okay. See, I was drawing the table in the using the latex. This you know, the left side 2 boxes should be empty. I could not make it empty. So you know, the latex is very good, but sometimes, you know, for small mistakes there will be. Okay. So I thought of better to show you something what it should be. Okay. So the x4 and x5 are the basic variables. And coefficient of the basic variables 0, 0, because you know we wrote something like, so C1 x1, C2 x2, C3 x3, 0 into x4, 0 into x5. So that is the reason that 0, 0 is there. Okay, x1, C1, C1 x1, C2 x2, and so on. Say this. Okay. Now this first row we write here x4 plus a11 x1, a12 into x2, a13 into x3 equal to b1. Okay, or you can write in the last also, no problem. So x4 plus a11 x1 plus a12 x2 plus a13 x3 equal to b1. Okay, if you set x1 x2 x3 0, then x4 equal to b1. Similarly, x5 plus a21 x1 plus a22 x2 plus a23 x3 equal to b2. If you are setting x1 x2 x3 0, then x5 equal to b2. Okay, so this, you know, the indicator row, the last row, there are 4 boxes. These 3, Z1 minus C1, Z2 minus C2, Z3 minus C3. Okay, so how to calculate I have told you. So in this case, directly we write here this 0, 0 inner product with the first column value A11, 21 minus C1. Similarly, 0, 0 inner product with A12, A22 minus C2. Okay, this. So if you calculate in this manner, so in the first box you can see minus C1, then minus C2, then minus C3, and this extreme and that box that represent the value of the objective function. See here, if you say x1, x2, x3 equal to 0, then what is the z value presently? Is 0? Yes or no? And this table, whatever we are written here, it is a condensed simplex table. Not only we say, so it is the initial simplex table. Initial. Okay. For what? For the primal simplex. Primal it is a name because 2 names are there, primal, dual. So we have put name in now primal. Okay. So under what condition the primal simplex is applicable? Number 1, applicable if B1, B2 greater than or equal to 0. Okay, Z1 minus C1 has to be less than or equal to 0. Some negative coefficients are there, indicator row. Z1 minus C1 less than or equal to 0, either 0 or negative. So let us say all are positive. Z1 minus C1 is a positive number, let us say 10. Z2 minus C2 equal to 15. Z3 minus C3 equal to 20, let us say. Then what will happen? So no need of going anywhere. So we say it is optimal. Yes or no? But if B1, B2 are negative, you cannot say. B1, B2 has to be positive. Okay, for the primal case. So this is okay. So if this is happening, select the most negative ZJ minus CJ element among the indicator row. Okay, select the most. I'm not telling the step, I'm telling the major thing. Under what condition you can apply primal simplex method. Okay, so select the most negative ZJ minus CJ element in the indicator row. So let us say I'm saying J equal to 5 or J equal to 3. Means 5th column. So here if you say there are 3 columns are there, x1, x2, x3. If I'm saying J equal to 1, then x1 will be the entering variable. J equal to 2, x2 will be the entering variable. J equal to 3, x3 will be the entering. Among 3 non-basic variable, one of them will be the entering variable. Among 3. Similarly, among two basic variables, one of them will be the departing variable. One will come, another go. No, so you need a hostel. You know, the guest rooms are limited. There are 2 guest rooms. Okay, most of the time it is full. See, one guest is coming, one has to go. Okay, that is the reason. So you cannot stay more than 2 days. Okay, because all people are in waiting, something like that. Okay, so the rooms are, you know, there are 3 rooms for the non-basic variables, 2 rooms for the basic variables. Okay, so their position, you know, in all the table, one will go, one will come, one will go, something like this, coming, going. So
Excuse me, sir.
x1, x2, x3, among 3, one of them is coming, let us say, and among this x4 and x5, one of them is going. So how to know which one is coming, which one is going? See here, select the most negative Zj minus Cj. If there is a tie, if Zj minus Cj, now there is an option, you can choose anyone. In fact, so all the negative you have to make positive. Any negative start, there is no harm. But if you start the most negative, maybe you are at a see, you are feeding to your pets, animals, no, who are there in the house. So you have to feed everybody. Okay. So maybe that fish, maybe that rabbit, maybe that tota, but all you have to. Now the priority, whom first? So that you decide. Okay. But generally we see who is the younger one. Okay. Newly born. Okay. So he or she needs early food. So we have to give attention. Okay. That's all. Okay. So here, but you have to feed everybody. Means all the negative you have to make positive. Okay. Now, actually, the rule say the most negative gives better result. That is the reason. So in some books say that choose any negative. No problem. Okay. Is all right? Now the non-basic variables becoming basic variables in the jth column. Now which one among the basic variables must leave? That minimum, select the, after selecting the negative, most negative Zj minus Cj. So in the indicator row, we discuss about the pivoting element. So a pivoting element, let us say it is P. What is P? P we calculate minimization over I, Bi minus Aij. So J is the jth column, is the entering variables. Now, how many elements are there? How many rows are there? B1, B2, 2 are there. So you will calculate in this manner, Bi divided by Aij. Of course, this Aij has to be non-zero, positive. 0 is not allowed, negative is not allowed. Okay. So negative allowed for the dual case, maybe we'll discuss. So this minimize. So there will be 2. So B1, let us say J equal to 1. So we'll calculate in this manner, B1 divided by A11, numerical value is given. B2 divided by A21. Okay. So ratio, minimum ratio, which will give minimum ratio, that must be selected. Now here, these minimum ratios are equal. If the minimum ratios are equal, becoming equal, so here also there is a smell that the problem has degeneracy. Okay, it may. So before finishing this method, you cannot predict what will happen to that. Okay, but that is the loophole. But the Karmakar's methods, so that we are not bothering. So here, but that is the beauty. So you take an interior point, it will converge. Okay, so here it may not converge, but take the interior point, it will converge. It guarantees, this is given a proof, it is guaranteed that it will converge. Okay, right? So only out of 167 students, so only 2 students has asked me, so their Karmakar's paper. You got it? You can circulate, no problem. You can circulate. Even I am sure that even in IIT also, many faculty must not have seen that paper. But so beautiful paper. So, and he is a IITian and a gold medalist from Mumbai IIT. So you can search, and so sometimes he was there in the TFIR. Okay. So I don't know, maybe those are from Bombay. You maybe you must have seen him, but he's a soft-spoken boy at that time. So but this method was, it was impressed many people, even who developed the simplex method. So he has surrendered. This method really good. Okay, the simplex method actually it was very popular even till now also. Okay, very popular, right? So if it is you are considering J equal to 1, then how to calculate B1 by A11? A11 must be positive, let us say. Here, see, when I am solving problem, I am not troubling, because there are some typical questions, some element 0, some negative. It may be there. So, but most of the time I am putting positive. So I am making your life easier. Okay, I'm not troubling. But if some terms are missing, there will be problem. So it is 0. Okay, so B1, if it is 0, that ratio you should not take. But 0 division, okay, that is all right. So that the pivoting elements, okay. So that will be our Aij. So if it is fulfilled, so that and rest whatever is there, you know it. So I will not talk. But what is the condition? Bi, B1, B2 has to be non-negative. Then the Zj minus Cj, just something like Z1 minus C1 less than or equal to 0, Z2 minus C2. This Z1 minus C1, Z2 minus C2, Z3 minus C3, this nicely explained in the revised simplex method. Okay. Have you gone through that? Revised simplex method? Among all the methods, you will find it is very easy to write code for the revised simplex method. Okay, only one matrix inverse, so you have to learn and you have to use it recursively. Okay, this so rest you know, because I am not giving any numerical example, so I will give numerical example for what? For the dual simplex method. Okay, because this already you know. So I am asking.
Sir, I had a doubt here.
Yes. Tell me.
Sir, for this system of equation, if the BIs are negative, if the BIs are negative and the
so if
ZJ
BIs
minus
are
CJ,
negative, you make it positive by multiplying -1. Okay. Okay.
no, but if the coefficients are positive and the BIs are negative, coefficients of the objective function.
You know, whatever you are saying is right, a good question. But what I'm saying here, because if you are giving a numerical example, clearly I can mention yes, what you have to do. Okay, but here so many things are there. No, so many here I am not talking about the C1, C2, C3. Technically, they can be 0, they can be positive, negative. No. So I have never told that C1, C2, C3 will be positive. I have never told. What it can be anything. But I have told here B1, B2 plays a crucial role. They have to be positive. Why? Because you know our basic feasible solution must fulfill this non-negative requirement x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. When we solve a linear system of linear equation in the +2 level system of linear equation, anywhere the teacher has told the x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 has to be non-negative anywhere? No, they are free variables. They are free variables. Now, this is a question, right question. I will trouble you. Use linear programming problem, use simplex method or any method to solve a system of linear equation. Okay. Now, you know in the class there are out of 160, at least I am sure 60 students most very good, then they are expecting that I should get an excellent. Okay, right. So anybody can answer this question. So I will give now excellent. Okay, anybody, please. Everybody, no problem. Just you see, I am checking.
Sir, can you please repeat once the question, sir?
Okay, now tell me one by one. If you are giving a system of linear equation, right hand side non-zero, positive, negative, whatever may be, hardly matter. So no, it is most of the all are non-zero means it is a zero solution. Okay, so there is a homogeneous system, non-homogeneous, right hand side non-zero. Okay, so how to solve? I'm not asking that, but how to use the linear programming method to solve the system? Anybody? One by one. Anybody?
Sir?
Answer my question.
Sir, you mean that if x1, x2, x3, there is no constraint of them being greater than or equal to 0?
In the system of linear equation, that restriction is not there.
Yes,
so
sir.
you have to introduce. Okay?
Yes, sir. So we can
and
write
I have
x1.
Told you earlier. So you
yes,
remember, any
yes,
free
sir.
variable has to be difference of two variables, two non-negative variables. So if there are say 9, 10 variables, so you will have 10 plus 10, 20. Okay. X1 for x1 you will write x1 dash minus x1 double dash, and their difference must be greater than or equal to 0. Okay. So actually this difference may be equal, means they are equal means 0, one is greater positive, one is less. Okay, first one is less negative. So I have not solved problem knowingly to trouble you. Okay, so you have to guess what is that. Okay, but I'm saying this is a question, the valid question, and in any interview go, people will ask. Okay, if really somebody has studied the OR properly, he will ask this question only. The regression, you know, the least square method, you know, those are learning machine learning. You know, you are studying the least square method is there. That is a nonlinear programming technique, but there you can also use the simplex method. This is not a very ordinary method. This is a very popular method. Everywhere you can use. Okay, right? So, but now the question is, how do you use simplex method there? What is your answer? So the answer I will not give. You will find the answer. Okay, right? So we are coming to LPP type 2. Okay, this is the problem. Minimize Z equal to. See, you will ask me, sir, that is, if it is primal, it is dual. So why everywhere x1? No, because the reason is, see, my variables are all are x. I am taking one type. Okay, with respect to, I am not solving the problem of that, dual of that one. I am two technical problem. One is maximization type, another is minimization type. Okay, so I have not told that it's primal problem or dual problem. It is it is a LPP type 1, type 2. Type 1 is maximization type, type 2 is minimization type. Okay. But with respect to this problem, I am finding the dual. Dual has here there are two constants. Dual to have two variables. And here there are three variables, there will be two constants. But here we are not talking about that. We are talking about how a maximization type problem looks like. Okay, how a minimization. Okay. So, and many things I have left here. So you can say that why the equality type constants are not there. Maximization type, equality type, minimization type, equality type. Once you say equality type, your life becoming very simple. Yes or no? This slug surplus variables. So this once you include the slug surplus variables, artificial variables, so the number of variables will increase like anything, and you will face a lot of crises. 5 variable, 2 equation. So earlier problem, if somebody is solving using the basic feasible solution method, how many times means how many system will solve? Out of 5, 2 non-zero,
10.
0. 5C3, 7,
10.
5C2. How many?
10.
10. So 10 means the half an hour will go. So how many will answer? So I have asked this type of question, maybe 20, maybe 4, 5. Okay. So how will? So you have to be very, see questions, the answer is not visible. You have to find out, you have to explore. Okay, that's all. This we have learned already. Now you tell me, here there is a clue. So this is the problem. Which method will apply? Everybody, please tell.
Became a two-phase simplex.
Similar problem. Here, the B1, B2 also non-negative. Okay. Your requirement, we want to minimize the cost. Our requirement, this must be greater than equal to at least. Okay. Right. See, nowadays the election season. Okay. So that in this region, so I should get this much vote, at least this much vote, so that I will win. Okay. Something like that. You can formulate such problem also. Okay. But of course, variables may not be continuous, may be discrete. Okay. Right. Which method will apply?
Big M or two phase?
Big M, two phase, and anything else?
Dual.
Dual I have not told. Okay, dual we have to. Okay, see. And can you use the basic feasible solution method here?
So if
Can you use? Yes.
So if we include the artificial and surplus variables, we can make it
artificial variable. When you talk about the basic feasible solution, there you will not introduce the artificial variable. Artificial variables in the simplex. Okay. Here, if you see here, you have to subtract. No, to make equation, you have to subtract. Once right hand side is fixed, it is positive. Keep the right hand side positive, and if it is less than type, add. If it is greater than type, subtract. No question of artificial variable. And if you include artificial variables, your life will be miserable. So now include, you will get, but include, what will happen? So one surplus, one artificial. Then there are 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 3, how many? 7. 7C2 or 7C3. No, sorry. 7C2 or 7C5. 7C2 means 7 into 6 divided by 2. How many?
21.
21. Imagine, so you will cry simply. Okay, even you know the answer, you will cry. 21 equation you have to guess or you have solution. Okay, that is the reason simplex has come to the picture. 21. Okay, right. So here, if you simply see, I have given a slide also that was actually it was there ready-made available. Somebody asked me in some university, you inspire our +2 or class 12 students. So there is a problem, you know. So when this greater than or equal type constant, you have to subtract only that variable surplus variable. Okay. So that problem is there. That furniture problem, you must have seen. That note you got it. It was written in the MS Word. Of course, I have not typed. Somebody else has typed. Okay, right? Nowadays, you know, the students, I really observe. So if you give any document to them for typing, they will type and the document is theirs. Okay. He will be the author. After typing, if somebody become author, then what do you realize? Eh? So here now I'm telling, even your friend, so you are making a, you know, sometimes a group effort so to achieve something, but your idea don't disclose to immediately. So you disclose means, so he has his idea and your idea. Okay. So he will be a millionaire and you will be a poor beggar. Okay. Don't disclose. Okay. You tried. If you cannot achieve after a certain time, then you can. Okay. So your idea is the idea. Okay. Any problem, even for the LPP also, you can think a new approach. No problem. Okay. But that is your idea. Okay. So you should not even disclose. Okay. The poor idea. See, research meaning. What is the meaning of research? This whatever you are searching. No, repeatedly you are searching. Okay. See, I was asking some people why you are creating problem for us, you know, and see, you started the iPhone 10, then 11, then 12, then 13. You are traveling, so because we are purchasing repeatedly and we are also learning. Because you see, according to the requirement, according to the time, no, the research is improved, no, requirement. Okay, requirement. See. Simply, I will tell you. So I put a SIM there. So in a mobile, so the iPhone is saying, and because that SIM was there in some other iPhone mobile, that SIM is saying no, I cannot save. He told it the SIM belongs to maybe MP Biswal. Okay, I could not save it. Even a different name, it cannot. Okay, you recognize it, that SIM belongs to me. Okay, maybe. Okay, something like that. It's good things, but you know, everything, you know, depends on the depends on the requirement they're doing. See, another thing I'm going to say, see, you have a credit card, maybe with the SBI credit card. Okay, so if you are going for a bigger shopping, there's something like that, you're purchasing air ticket or purchasing an iPhone or purchasing something else. So you need money very close to maybe 1 lakh, something like that. So your father has given his, let us say, his card to you, or you have a card, you have given the add-on to your younger brother. Sometimes you realize that you are unable to use, but he is able to use. That I was asking same question to them. So you see, I am unable to use, but whoever is using my add-on is able to use. And what is the matter? I could not understand. So see, you have blocked my card, saying you are going for high purchase, but whoever using the add-on, he can purchase. So is it justified? So because maybe the code, the way they are writing the code, because your name is visible to a public, but who is your friend, it is not visible. So see, my name, he is writing MP Biswal. Okay, everywhere known. But whoever is guest, he is not writing that in that manner. He is writing something else. Okay, right? So they are two separate cards, but one of them will pay. So you know more about that. So I cannot. But there is some problem. Problem is, see, once I am going, let us say, from Kharagpur to Calcutta, I spend 5,000 rupees for the taxi. 5,000 rupees for taxi. After paying 5,000 rupees, if I return, so is it justified? I ask, I spent 5,000 rupees, but I could not purchase for you. So that are possibly even somebody has done the transaction, so they are thinking it is a fraud transaction. It is not the. But I don't know. No, I have purchased. My family has purchased. So it is the fact. And if you are by chance purchasing the iPhone, etc., from the local vendor, don't purchase. Okay. And you go to this iPhone store, you purchase, you will get the less price, and there is a benefit around 6,000 rupees, and that benefit will come after 120 days. They are saying. And if you are not clever, if you are not saving the file, saving, so money will not come. They are very much clever. They will try to manipulate, and so that you will not claim. Okay. So either they will not give the bill, or they will do something. They will delay. So the 6,000 they want to grab. Okay. So you should be careful. Okay. So whatever the local vendors are asking, so maybe around 15,000 less. Okay, you will get. Okay, I realize. And if you are purchasing, so it is better thing, don't purchase anything from the, and maybe you may get duplicate. Okay. So I was asking same thing. See, so much profit you get from one item. So actually they want one customer only. That is enough. But actually they are doing crime. You cannot do like that. You are suppressing the fact. Okay. And another thing is what you are doing. So you are misleading. Okay. So now you say that this problem can be solved using big M method, 2-phase simplex method, etc. So I'm saying instead of greater than equal to type, if it is equally type, what will happen? There is a way. If it is equally type, you make two inequations. One is less than equal type, one is greater than equal type. Okay. And you want to express in terms of greater than equal type, they can multiply, whichever is less than equal type, multiply minus sign. Okay. Right hand side will be negative. Okay, as you said that, but that it is expression if you want to make an equation. Okay, but here you want to keep it as it is. Okay, positive, right hand side positive. So if it is positive, then this is the way we have to write. Okay, but now somebody asking the equation, how will you make an equation? For each equation you make two inequation. For example, I'm saying x equal to 5. So x is less than equal to 5 and x is greater than equal to 5. Their intersection is x equal to 5. Okay, two inequation. Okay, so this, so what we are, but keeping the the right hand side b1, b2, they are non-negative. This LPB can be written as in this manner. See, always. So we solve maximization type problem. Always. So we will multiply minus sign, minus z equal to minus c1 x1 minus c2 x2 minus c3 x3. Right? And here, let us say I have learned only the primal simplex method, no other method. Primal simplex method. Okay. So I will think about what? To making all these inequation greater than equal type to less than equal type. So multiply minus sign both sides. So the inequation will change. So if you multiply minus sign is minus a11 x1 minus a12 x2 minus a13 x3 less than equal to minus b1. We are assuming b1 is non-negative. So minus b1 is negative. Yes or no? Similarly, second one. Okay, this. So we want to put in the framework of simplex, simplex table. So what do you do here? So now for the, you have learned if it is greater than equal type constants, one surplus variable, one artificial, yes, one surplus variable, one artificial variable we use. But since it is less than equal type, what will happen? Only slug variable will do. In first equation slug variable, second equation slug variable, because they are two in equation. But see here, right hand side is negative. Right hand side negative. For the primal simplex, right hand side has to be positive. For the dual simplex, right hand side has to be negative. Okay, reason, what is the reason? I will tell you. So this problem, whatever way we have presented, so the two equation, two, and then 5, how many unknowns? 5 unknowns. Yes. Okay. This x4 and x5 are what? They are slug variables. They are non-negative. Suppose they are non-negative. X1, X3, X2, X3, they are also non-negative. Because in the linear programming problem, all variables are non-negative. Slug, surplus, artificial, any variable is non-negative. If we find the value is negative, then it is infeasible. Yes or no? Now, so after inclusion of the slug variables, so this looks like this. Okay. The objective function is maximization type with minus z, subject to the constants. Okay, this. Now, same rule we apply to find the basic feasible solution. This x1, x2, x3 are non-negative, as you know. If I am setting x1, x2, x3 0 as our non-basic variable, other two will be the basic variables. So we'll find x4 equal to minus 5 b1, x5 equal to minus b2. Then what? Then x4 is becoming less than 0, x5 less than 0. So what? This is infeasible. There is some condition. So this problem is infeasible. Primal was feasible. Okay. Say primal was feasible. Dual is now looks like infeasible. Okay. Actually it is feasible. Okay. But looks like the way we are proceeding, it looks like it is infeasible. If you find negative, this is not the optimal solution. The starting solution, if it is negative, these are not allowed, infeasible. So immediately you conclude that it is infeasible. But it may be feasible also, we don't know. Now, if this is happening like this, so what is the table? How to have the construct of the table? The table will be like this. Same basic variable, non-basic variable. Non-basic variables are x1, x2, x3. Basic variable x5, x4, x5. The coefficient of the basic variable 0, 0. Coefficient of the non-basic variable. Earlier we were writing C1, C2, C3. Now minus C1, minus C2, minus C3. Yes or no? Then. So if you present the table, the first row minus A11, minus A12, minus A13 means x4 plus this, okay, equal to minus B1, and similarly for x5. Okay. So we want to calculate the indicator row elements. That is Z1 minus C1. How much it will be Z1 minus C1? Who can say? Z1 minus C1, that will be C1 because 0, 0, 0 in order with this minus C1 is plus C1, right? Let us say the cost coefficient cannot be negative generally. Cost of an item negative means what? Let us say I am talking about a UPS, computer UPS. So negative means, so you will get free, something like that. So actually here the Z1 minus C1 is becoming C1. Z2 minus C2 is C2. So Z3 minus C3 equal to C3. Okay. So if you assume in this manner, so what is the declaration? The declaration says that the solution is optimal. No, it is not optimal. The B1, B2 are negative. Okay. These C1, C2, C3 are positive, then B1, B2 are negative. Earlier, what is happening there? You can see earlier C1, Z1 minus C1, Z2 minus C2, these are all becoming negative, and B1, B2 are positive. Okay, but here different, just alter. So this is becoming the Z1 minus C1 is becoming all the C1, the C2, C3. They are, let us say, if C1, C2, C3 are positive, then it's positive. And see here minus B1, minus B2, they are negative numbers. Okay. So to this type of problem, this is not an optimal solution. This is a case of infeasibility. Okay. So, but technically the problem is feasible. So what will happen here? So apply dual simplex method. So to this problem, dual simplex is applicable. Okay. Why? So this is the condition, the right hand side parameters, minus B1, minus B2. Here they are negative. Okay, B1, B2 positive, so the negative. The Z1 minus C1 non-negative, Z2 minus C2 non-negative, Z3 minus C3 non-negative. So now earlier what I was doing? Earlier you are selecting the most negative indicator element. So first you are calculating the entering variable, then departing variable. Here what? Here just reverse. Select the most negative minus BI element. Let me say here minus B1 minus B2. Minus B1 equal to, let us say, minus 50. Here it is minus 60. Which one I will select? Which one? Minus 50 or minus 60?
Minus
60.
Minus 60. Most negative, this value is right hand side, whatever. Okay. So if you select, let us say B2, then which one is the Departing variable. Earlier entering variable, then departing variable. First departing, then entering. Which one will be departing variable? If B2 you are selecting, X5. If minus B1 is selecting, X4. Okay. First departing, one of them is departing variable. Further, what is that? Further, once the departing variable is selected, then which one is entering variable? Either X1 or X2, X3. Either X1 or X2, X3. Okay. So we will calculate in this manner. Minimum ratio, select the most negative minus BI element. The pivoting element P, how to calculate here? So minimization over earlier I, minimization over J, Zj minus Cj divided by Aij, its absolute value. Earlier there was no absolute value, now it is absolute value. Where this Aij, see if Aij happen to be positive, no question of absolute, because the Zj minus Cj is positive, Aij positive, no question of absolute value. So the Aij has to be here negative, so where Aij is less than 0. Now we have learned for the primal simplex method, the pivoting element has to be positive. For the dual simplex method, the pivoting element has to be negative, just reverse. Okay, and other things here. Now I am solving a small example. This example you can solve using graphical method and big M method and two-phase simplex method, also dual simplex method. This is very small example, so everybody will be able to understand. So what is that? How to proceed? So now I am telling, once this method is used, so you will forget the big M method. Okay. So once the big M is introduced, calculus is becoming lengthier and bigger table is required. Okay. But here with smaller table, so we'll manage. Okay, this. You all right? Now can you guess with the solution? Anybody? D stands for I am writing dual simplex. Okay. So anybody can guess the solution? If you have notebook, I will request everybody try to solve and verify at least one step. Okay, this is the problem. So first step, what you should do?
240.
Yes.
240.
What solution? You have software, something.
Yes, sir.
See, many
sir.
people. Yes. I was last time
Sir,
I was teaching the optimization technique. Okay, optimization technique. See what you are doing, I am not able to see. Okay, but the students are, they are very clever, but they will surrender. How they will surrender? Because you will ask question, no? So I gave them all are standard problem. Then I told one problem I am giving, that is the problem. It is a very tricky problem. So that tricky problem, whoever will be able to solve, so it will give me some overall idea whether I will give me excellent or not. Okay, right? So nobody could answer. Okay, even they are using software. I could realize they are using software. I am giving problem, they instead of solving manually, they are using software. Why? Why they are using it easier not type and write the answer? So I was asking whether, because I gave a problem which their software cannot solve. Okay, right? So before solving, they have to modify. Okay, because there is some, actually it was a 3 variable problem. After elimination, it will become 2 variable. Okay, they are using 2 variable problem, something like that. So they could not. And one student told that I have verified using software. Then how you have? What about the other problem? It's clear that he was solving the other problem by such software. So I told then it is not a good thing that you are using software, and so you should you apply your brain and apply your mind, not software. Okay, but even after using software, the answer was not correct. Everybody has given wrong answer. Okay, same thing will happen here also. So be careful, and I will give some tricky question. You have to see this problem. Maximum number of iteration. How many it will take? Tell me. This type of problem, if you are solving simplex method, so how many iterations it will take? Maximum. The data, this size type problem, this type of problem. Okay, only 2 variable, 2 in equation like that. So how many iterations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many iterations will take? Can you guess? This is a question. Maximum. So now you can tell me any type of problem I'm taking. So within this iteration, I have to solve complete. Okay. You cannot say because that happens in terms of the data. We cannot say. Okay. So maybe one iteration, maybe two, maybe three. Okay. 2 by 2 means 2 iterations, not necessarily. It may be go over 3 or 4. Okay. Right? Because you see this problem if you are solving using simplex. Okay. So let us say in big M method, then 2 here, 2 here. Say 2 plus 4. 6 variable, 2 equation. Okay. 6 variable, 2 equations. So 6C, 2. How many? 6 into 5, 15. So 15 problems you have to solve. Okay. So it is not so easy, right? So of course, if some clever student, what will do? He will just say x1 plus x2 equal to 40 and 5x1 plus. It may not be solution also. Okay. It may not be the solution. So you have to solve it and conclude. Okay. Right. But equation solving is different and LPP is different. Okay. This. So how to proceed? To proceed in this manner. Okay. So every objective function we put maximization form, constants also less than equal to type form, introduce log variables x3 and x4. First one for x3 and second one is x4, and we will put in the tabular manner. Okay, this minus z1, this is minus 8x1 minus 4x2 plus 0x. Okay, this, and here right hand side as you see 40 and 60. So the right hand side is becoming minus 40 minus 60. Okay, this. So the x3 and x4. If you are using big M method, slug, surplus variable and artificial variable. But here, no question of artificial variable, only slug variable, no surplus variable also. But right hand side is negative. How do manage? We manage in this manner. Okay, this is the table. See here, this table. So we present in terms of the table, minus 40, minus 60, and this. So which one you are selecting first? So 60, minus 60. So if you are selecting minus 60, then x4 is the departing variable. X4 is the departing variable. Then which one is the entering variable? Whether x1 or x2, or not one of them. So how to calculate? We calculate in this manner. The C1 Z1 minus C1 equal to 8. Okay. Z2 minus C2 equal to 4. Okay. It's visible also. You can. Okay. Now, with respect to minus 60, x4 is the departing variable. We have concluded. Calculate minimization over I, zj minus cj divided by aij, where aij less than 0. So what will happen? You can see here. With respect to this, 8 divided by minus 5, its absolute value. 8 divided by minus 5, its absolute value. Similarly, 4 divided by minus 1, its absolute value. So in this manner. Okay. Here, just by mistake I have interchanged here. The first ratio is about the second one, no, second column, and the second column is okay. The norm, okay. So according to this, so 8 divided by 5 is absolute value. That is 8 by 5. 4 divided by minus by 1 it is absolute value. So 4 minus, so it is 4 and it is 8 by 5. 8 by 5 is minimum. So minimum ratio says that 8 by 5. This 8 by 5 is coming with respect to which element? The minus 5. Okay. So that is becoming our key element. And the key element is negative. Earlier key element is positive. Now key element is negative. So see here. This key element negative. So then what will happen? X4 is leaving departing variable. X1 is the entering variable. Okay. So new table is like this. New table. Okay. X1 is, I have declared X1 is the entering variable and X4 is the departing variable. Okay. So we have the some positive, some negative. But however, the Zj minus Cj, this is becoming 8 by 5 and this is becoming 12 by 5. Okay. And in the first iteration, the value of the logistic function is minus 96. Okay. So This is completed. Now we observe, is there a negative element in the right hand side vector, right hand side XB vector? Yes, there is one negative element. Earlier there was 2, now only 1. So minus 28. So with respect to minus 28, which variable is our departing variable? Who can say? X3 or X1? Hello? X3 is the departing variable. Okay. If X3 is the departing variable, so we have the entering variable. How to calculate? X3 is the departing variable.
X2, sir.
Yes.
X2 is the entering variable.
X2 is entering and X3 is departing. Okay, this.
Departing, yes, sir.
Okay, right. So how to calculate in this manner? 8 by 5 divided by minus 1 by 5, its absolute value. So this is becoming 8. 12 by 5 divided by minus 4 by 5, its absolute value. This is okay. So that is 3. 8 and 3. So 8 and 3 means minimum is 3. So X2 is the entering variable. Okay, rest. Next table, you please verify. I will stop here. Okay, and so I will ask if you have question, because I will not go beyond, because tomorrow there is a test. So any doubt you have, but please remember this table. Try to understand and try to use this table. Okay, so that you can save your time. Okay.
Excuse me,
now,
sir.
Yes.
Sir, the optimal solution will be attained when XB column is all positive and Zj minus Cj are all positive.
0 means if you there is an indication of 0, Zj minus 0, all are non-negative and 1 is 0. So there is alternate optimal solution may also. But here, if instead of we have got everything, if it is 35, 5, let us say minus 5, 35. So it's not optimal. B1, B2 has to be positive. Or 0 is also allowed. Okay, this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now tell me this problem. So if it is given option
So
like DGM method, two-phase simplex method, dual simplex method, which one you will prefer? Which one you will prefer?
Dual simplex.
Dual simplex. Yes or no? And so see, if you are implementing program, writing code, so you must, so they're separate. Okay. Somebody wants primal simplex, you will write primal simplex. Somebody wants dual simplex, but if nothing is asked, so which one is better, why it is better, you will write for that. Okay. Now whatever you have studied, if you are asking, so among all the methods, which one is better, so that you can write yourself code. Tell me.
Device.
I do not know, so I want to hear from you. Okay. Earlier, actually, this one the thing were not there. We are writing in the hand because you know blackboard writing is good, but blackboard once you are writing blackboard, we cannot cover many things. Okay, and the students, you know, students also feel that I could not write. Okay, and I used to send the slide because sometimes you know different, you know, there is problem. So space problem. So they ask you delete everything because there is space problem in your email. So, and I'll maybe this I will put in some Google Drive. You can share. Okay. Paddy is there? Paddy?
Yes, sir.
Swarup, is there? Swarup? Paddy
Yes,
is
sir.
not there.
No, sir, I'm there, sir.
Yes. Swarup Paddy is there from computer science?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You so can you help me? Can you circulate this to all your friends by some means? You are, you know, so I should not. If you cannot circulate, I have to again open my ERP and you know the ERP takes 10-15 minutes. So you know the something is moving, so it may reach, it may not go, and something else will come to me. Okay, right? You do one thing. You open a Google account, and this file you can share it. Okay, so any account that file you and I will send mail that you share. Okay, this is available. Okay, is all right. And this actually I was writing in hand by, you know, reason is, you know, in the pen writing is different because you can mark, you can this, But here, if I'm making a slide, no, many things I have to learn. Making box, then making circular, making underline, so many things. Okay, but okay, all right. Something to be presented. Okay, no problem. Any doubt? If you have, you can ask me. Okay.
Sir, I had a doubt.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, in the difference between the normal simplex table and the condensed one,
Which one you like? Which one you like?
The condensed one. The condensed one.
Condensed, all are there, no? Because that in condensed table, that is in a identity matrix is not there.
Yes, yes.
Initially,
Sir,
the identity matrix basic, basic matrix is identity matrix, no? The revised simplest method I told. If you see the revised simplest method, there is a matrix, identity matrix, no? That is available. Always you see, may not be in the last two columns, maybe somewhere one column 1 0, then other column 0 1. Okay, if it is three columns are there, 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 should be available somewhere. You will see, but that is not required. If it is 2 by 2, that 2 by 2 identity matrix will be available. If it is 3 constants are there, 3 by 3. If it is 4, 4 by 4. Okay. That is actually what the revised simplex is useful. So you should also write a code for the revised simplex method. Okay. See, don't try MATLAB or this C++. Many things are available. If you can write, see, I have given 10 programs. If somebody could complete one, something you have learned, no? Instead of copying something you have learned, that is good. But I find the online compiler is there, that Python, that is better. Okay, no need of running. So loading in your computer, just anybody can.
Sir, in the condensed table, we take the rest.
So you tell me who is speaking. What's your name? What is your name?
Devrup Das.
Okay. Achha, I will tell you one thing. So most likely our mathematics students are available. Okay. Sometimes, yes, no, not in all should come at times. So sometimes when I'm in the department, why don't you come? Okay. So at least I should see your face. Okay. So how much you are interested. Okay. But sometimes Saturday, Sunday there is no restriction. No, you can because you are moving with your friends, so you can come to the department. Okay. Right, and call me and come. Okay, so I will be available. So Saturday, Sunday maybe. So 11 to 1 o'clock or 12 to 2 o'clock. Okay. This Monday, Tuesday I am not going because I am taking class in the department. Department, so facility not there. Okay. You all right?
Sir,
please.
Can we write code in C or C++ because we have already started writing in C++.
See, if you run, I'm telling. So all right, but the available in the somebody said that is available. Your friends are saying, sir, everything available.
Yes, but last time you said we can write in Python and C++, so we have already started.
I was saying. So see, since 5 people are there, some people should write in C, some in Python. Okay, that is all right. 5 are there, 2 are very capable students, and another 3 are not. You write in C and C Python. Okay,
yes,
same thing.
Like we have discussed, no like some.
This I have told you. Only those are good students. Those are expecting excellent. Okay, some are expecting excellent. So this will help. But those are average students. So it is immaterial. But you have to write. Okay. See, for example, you are losing your grade by 5 marks, 3 marks. Okay. So I will see your code whether you have spent time or not. Okay. So that will help me to decide. Okay. And if you are a group leader or a presenter, you send me your mail ID and mobile number. Okay. I am not going to sell your mobile number. So because you may disturb me, I will not disturb you but I want to know when there is a test. No, I will inform you. Okay. I'll call you one by one. Okay. So that you do and get ready for with the code. So 1 or 2 or whatever you prepared, no problem. Okay. But I will be very happy, and those are no students not staying here. Okay, this corona will never go. Okay, and I'm sure every 6 months we will face such crisis. But with that corona also we have to survive. Okay, so we have see earlier we are fearing so much. Nowadays we are not fearing. Are you fearing? You are not fearing because you are moving here and there. No, earlier, we are fearing to go to market. Okay, so tell me. So I will not cover more, and this slide, of course, I will upload. Okay, upload to in the ARP or in. You need to send this slide, the handwritten slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will give. I will give.
Sir.
It is good because I have explained, and see, in case you are presenting me, you write in hand, scan it, and present it. Okay, so when I am presenting, and whatever I am doing, you do same thing. Okay, but code what you will do? So you open the screen. I will give Google link. So you will present. All should be available. Your group members. Okay. And only group members. When you are presenting first group members should be there. Okay. So I may ask question, one is presenting, so he will reply. So what is his role and what is the contribution? See, I will tell you, if this is a problem, okay, you are stating. If somebody is not giving x1, x2, they are non-negative. What it indicates? x1, x2, there nothing is mentioned. Is it a linear programming problem? Standard linear programming problem? Yes, it is also a linear programming problem, but instead of 2 variables, you have to convert into how many? 4 variable problem. Okay. Okay, if nothing is mentioned. If x1, x2 are not mentioned, they are greater than or equal to 0, you have to introduce x1, x2. So in terms of x1 equal to x1 dash minus x1 double dash, x2 equal to x2 dash minus x2 double dash. Okay. Instead of 2 variables, there will be 4 variables. 4 variables and 2 equations. Okay.
So can we also use dual in this case?
The beauty of the dual is that we discussed. Only for that purpose
I
we
think,
are thinking. Okay.
Sir, if we have
See,
three variables in
if it is asked to you question that you solve using dual simplex, you solve. If nothing is mentioned, you solve any method. But if you say that you solve this problem using the revised simplex method, you have to use the revised simplex method. Okay. So you got the exam link. Have you tested? Yes or no? Otherwise, I will ask him to.
No, sir, we didn't get any link, sir.
Okay, then today actually I will remind. Okay, today I'll remind that he will send to me. Okay, that test will be in Moodle because they are also very cautious. They don't disclose early that where they are conducting. Why? Because you will hike and you will do something because you are clever. Okay, so that is the reason they are also not disclosing, but they are disclosing in the last moment. Okay.
So I had a question. What if we have mixed constraints? Then what's the best way to work with it?
Repeat it again.
So if we have mixed constraints, that means we have equal to, less than equal to, and greater than equal to.
Can you read the formulate a problem and read it? Formulate, take a small problem. So here you want to change something, change it. That in the question, say one of them is greater than equal type. This minimization problem should be greater than equal type. Maximization problem less than equal type. So if one of them is less than equal type, one of them is greater than equal type, what will do? Which one is less than equal type, multiply minus sign and proceed.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
And if we have like more than 2 conditions, and if we have more than 2 conditions, and if the conditions are
constant. Okay, no problem.
Yes,
you want 2000, hardly matter. So for minimization, you have to, if it is using dual simplex, for minimization, greater than equal type, change to greater than equal type. Right hand side positive, negative, hardly matter. Okay. So it will take care of everything. For maximization, less than equal type. For the maximization, the right hand side has to be non-negative. But for minimization, right hand side can be anything. Okay. Solve some problem.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, all students of the CSE department that have enrolled for this course, they have multiple tests and other assignments also, sir, in this week, particularly in the first 4 days of this week. So, sir, and we have not yet started writing the course.
Same day there is a test.
Yes, sir. So there are other subjects tests also.
Very simple thing. The test in the class. Okay. And everything, I hope everything is there in your brain. Okay. Everything is there. Okay. No need of reading. Okay. If you have attended the class, you can. Okay. Solve from every section 2-3 problem and come down. Okay. That is enough.
No, sir. Sir, the problem is that we will not be able to write, sir, the codes within one day. Within a time of 1 day.
I am saying it is optional now. If you are really done, send it. If you are not done, then you take your own time. Okay, all right. But I'm telling it is better.
So means, sir, it's not mandatory to submit the codes, right? In the like
mandatory in the sense. See, I'm telling everybody, you know, in the training placement, all are getting job. Okay, some are getting salary in crores, some are getting in lakhs. Okay, all are happy. Okay. So you want crores or you want in the lakhs? Okay, tell me. So your happiness depends on that. So if you are happy with that, so where is the problem? Okay, no problem. If you are whatever you are expecting, if you are happy with that, all right. But I'm saying, so if you are really interested to get good grades, so you have to solve a little different. Means you should be a little different from your friend. Right? So many are not asking questions, they are listening. They have not studied they have not solved any problem. How they will ask question? Tell me. See, the students were nearly 20 students. They asked me, sir, we want to do project. I'm very happy to take you. No problem. But I asked, are you available here in the campus? They said no. Then what is your CGPA? 6.5. So what he will do? Tell me. I will only get headache, nothing else. But if you are good students, in one attempt you can do many things. So teacher is giving only a problem. You will find out the answer. But for them, you need, you know, you have to guide something like, you know, he doesn't know anything A to Z. Okay, they will copy. When I'm saying you meet me, we discuss with me, many students go away. When they left, they're not calling me. Sir, I got Devapriya. Devapriya, for last 15 years, he is assistant professor. Okay, but he got PhD from Leeds University. I don't know which Leeds, to whom he can lead. She can lead. I'm telling here. So you have to learn. I'm telling. You are IIT students. Okay, you have to simply guide. Only give a problem. Tell a problem. I will give problem. Can you take problem and so can you provide me answer? You cannot. Again, you will say after 1 month, sir, I could not do anything. I was busy with that activity. See, one boy from the Spring Fest, he told us, sir, can you frame some question? See, I am a senior guy. Only you will ask me to frame question, no other work. No other work. So you have to give some work so that I will be happy. Okay, yes, I am managing a team or something like that. No, but you will ask, prepare some question. See, I am also fed up, you know, making such questions. When you are setting question paper JEE, you spend 15 days, and after spending 15 days, you will set wrong question. I told you, why do you send such type of wrong question, and people cannot answer. So, and there is also some quarreling. Quarreling in the sense, the stupid fellows, they don't, you know, whole 24 hours they take cigarette, that, and finally wrong question. You have to concentrate. You got the opportunity to prepare a question. So you have to frame a question, a new question. Not that you will frame a wrong question and you will borrow from somewhere. Okay. So actually, earlier, you know, in the JEE standard, I'm telling, when there was long time question, real merit you are judging. Any alternative answer to the problem, full credit. Any alternative answer. Even teachers are there. You are writing answer 5 by 2, somebody write 2.5. So 5 by 2 is correct, 2.5 is wrong. They are giving mark in this manner. See, we examiners know it is correct. Whatever form we write is correct. Long question. But now the objective type question. So simply, you know, there is a magic how to find the answer. Answer is given there. Option means the answer is given there. But there, you know, earlier, so for geometry, one question, for vector, one question. So it's very tricky question. And that trick, every time you will find new trick. And there, whatever happening, the real brains, we are searching with the real brain. And all such students, they are not struggling. Now the students are struggling. Without knowing integration, they will learn the calculus. See, I will tell everybody, so you should use MATLAB, Mathematica, MapleSoft to verify your answer. Verify your answer. But certainly you can verify, but in the exam hall, don't use such because you will not have time. If you want to verify, you cannot. Now I am asking, so after submitting the paper, your rough sheet you send to me, your rough sheet. Okay. And don't share the rough sheet to you. You send it because you are a good student, you have done. A poor student cannot submit his rough sheet. Whatever, no problem. I want to see how you have solved. What is the trick you have used? Okay, thank you. So I will stop here. Okay, prepare well. Tomorrow we'll meet. Don't worry, even if you are not doing well, it is fine for me. So you will learn. Okay, I am sure if you are using my notes, you will learn problem. You will learn everything, and everything means you will be able to solve all the problem. Okay.
And sir, if we do not write the codes, then what will we present? Like you said, we have to present something.
If you have not done, how will present? So you could meet me so that I will just know what are the problem. Okay, I will discuss. Whether you know it, you know the subject, but you could not write the code. But I realize in the +2 level now the Python is there, no? Because somebody gave me Python book for the CBSE board's book. Python is there, not for all, but
no sir, not for all sir.
There, no. So that is
Not
the
for
reason.
all,
So
sir.
Not for all,
Python
sir.
is in school. In the IIT, why I should go back? No. See, I will tell you, we have learned basic language, then Fortran, then Pascal, then C, then C++, then Java. See, we are made, and now Python. Okay. So I am going to retire next year, and then I have to learn Python or some other. So is it possible? Is it possible? You learn, so at least I will check. I am going to compile your program. Okay. Whether it is, see, so many, if you learn so many languages, only people like Atal Bihari Vajpayee can tackle. I cannot. 2-3 languages you will do mistake. Okay. Because sometimes scripts are very similar. Okay. The Assami and Bengali, the scripts are similar. So when you write, you will face problem. Hindi and some other the things are similar. So many languages not required. One language, because now I find the Python is very convenient, and the 50-line program becoming 5-line. Okay. You write, no problem. So any language is all right, but better try to write in the Python. Okay. If somebody has not done anything, so what will do? You will copy somewhere and submit, but don't do that. Okay. What is the merit of that? 5 students are there in a group. So all you are brilliant students, where is the problem? And for some, some issues are there, you take the help of your friend. Somebody can help you, guide you. What mistake I'm doing? 2 minutes. Okay. So the work, what we set the question paper in 2 days, so you answer in 30 minutes. Okay. So because you know how to solve the problem, we know how to give you the problem. Thank you. No problem. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay. During the exam time, I will be available. If anything, you can call me. So I will inform him that he is not getting his roll number. Okay, right? But I will ask him today. He will send so that you can verify. Okay, your roll number is there. Okay. And question is object type. There are 3 questions. 3 questions, and then each question carries 5 bits. 2 mark each, 15 into 2, 30 marks. Okay, right? So 3 tests I will take 30, 30, 30, 90, another 10 mark. Okay, or this is convenient, no problem. And if there is offline test, that is also fine, no problem. I will check. I think at least 1 offline test should be there. If there is no corona, maybe I will take offline test in 2-3 batches, 50, 50, 50. Or I will.
But sir, all of us are not in the campus.
Yes, if corona is not, yes.
But all of us are not in the campus, sir.
See, you will take a degree, so if you will not come, I will give you advance notice 1 month earlier that you will come and appear. IIT will give notice. Now corona is there, nobody were not daring. But you see, if all are appearing, then you have to come, no? Okay, thank you. if somebody cannot come, I will take interview for him. His life will be more miserable. Okay. This is all right. But that time he will say that net connection is there, phone connection is not there. Something else will tell. Okay. Okay, no problem. Viva is more dangerous than the written test, I'm telling. Because randomly you ask a question, he cannot answer. Okay, thank you.
Sir?
If somebody will fail to appear the test, so Viva will be taken. Okay, there is no other option. Thank you.
Hello.
Please tell me.
Yes, sir. So if the objective contains an absolute value, how would we do that? Like, how would we convert it?
The dual simplex, you are using absolute value.
If the objective contains the program objective contains something in absolute value, so how would we able to convert it?
You think so? You know the meaning of absolute value, so you think it, and it is there in the some books, some in the net. You just type, you will get it. Okay, answer. You learn. Okay, I will tell you later. There are some tricks how to manage. If the absolute value is there.
That was already
once the absolute values are there, that is becoming a non-linear programming problem. Absolute value, but it can be linearized. Okay. Once the absolute value is there, it is becoming non-linear. So, but it can be linearized. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.